Welcome to More Organised Less Clutter, a podcast to empower individuals and neurodivergent families with practical, realistic tools to create a more organised, sensory-friendly, clutter-free and intentional home that works with your lifestyle and brain, not against it. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser and neurodivergent mum who understands the unique challenges of family life. I help people just like you simplify your space, build sustainable organisational systems and create more breathing room physically and mentally. Every fortnight, you'll hear solo episodes and guest conversations filled with practical strategies on decluttering, home organisation, routines for neurodivergent families, mindful living, and how to build a home that feels safe, calm and functional. You'll walk away with actionable takeaways you can implement even if you only have 10 minutes to spare. Today on More Organised Less Clutter, I want to wrap up the year and share some of my insights, achievements, wins and misses for 2025. Let's look at why, though, reflecting on your year can be really beneficial. Like for me, I love to look at the challenges because when I can look at the challenges, I can then move forward and change things. I always go through my photos because this really helps me to bring back those memories. Taking the time to reflect can really help you appreciate the positive experiences and the relationships you've had throughout the year. And this just helps to foster gratitude. Acknowledging and looking at the successes you've achieved, no matter how big or small, can be really motivating and also helps to boost your confidence. Gaining that perspective and learning more about yourself from your work is another thing I find from reflecting on my year. It helps me then to grow, to work out the direction I want to go, and also look at whether I'm aligning with my values and the areas that we need to improve and learn from so we can avoid those similar issues, in particular in our workplace. Looking at those patterns in my behaviour and decisions can really help me with my self-awareness. It can also provide clarity on what truly matters to you. And as I said before, looking at your values, am I going in that direction that I want to be, or is it something that I need to say no to or not at the moment? Definitely something that has been a real focus in my business and even in my personal life over the past 4 to 5 years is the awareness of the environmental impact of consumerism, and really zoned into that this year in particular in the business and in my personal life actually, and really looked at supporting circular fashion and recycling items. So when you have that time to just look back on what you've done, learned, achieved, you can also then have a better position for working out a goal maybe for the following year. If you're like myself, is looking at maybe a word to direct you for that year. I use a few questions to help me with reflecting on my year. So I just grab pen and paper and I look at those questions and just write down a few dot points from it. So the questions I use to guide my reflection is, what have I achieved this year? What am I celebrating? What are the lessons I learned? And what am I going to stop doing? And what am I going to start doing? The last two questions I find really useful to guide me and set up those boundaries for the next year. It's been a huge year with all the different clients that we've taken on board, and we've organised garages, sheds, bedrooms, wardrobes, kitchens, pantries, bathrooms, and of course, a lot of toys and toy rooms. We've also tidied up digital chaos on computers and helping people to get organised with their admin. At the start of 2025, we did a lot of review of people's decorations and we looked at how to set up a better storage for them so they were packing up after Christmas without effort. And coming forward to now, a few of my clients have sent me photos saying how easy it was to actually set up for Christmas this year because they knew exactly where everything was and it was all together. We've also helped move a few clients throughout the year, and there's always been those tricky little areas in people's homes which we've helped to create functional spaces, and also lots and lots of craft spaces, and also lots of artists, all of their supplies and how to better organise that. The things that I'm celebrating from 2025 is that we've had an increase in clients from lots of different referrals, ADHD coaches, plan managers with the NDIS insurance scheme in Australia, family services, lots of word of mouth. We've had a lot of new clients come through from Google, which has been great. Michelle has been working both Tuesday and Thursday this year, and we also had another worker who worked for us for 6 months, and we're just now welcoming Amy on board, though there'll be another person who'll also be helping out, which is great to have 3 of us working with clients. We also implemented ServiceMate, which has been amazing. This is a onboarding system as well as a communication system for my team and myself. It's just helped us to refine our processes and definitely reduce admin. So Simply Happy Conversations, the podcast, celebrated 4 years, and also we're up to 220 episodes. And we had a rebrand. So it is now known as More Organised Less Clutter, obviously for SEO reasons. And that has definitely increased our downloads since changing the name. And another big thing is I have stopped teaching altogether, and it has been, I would like to say, maybe 28 years of teaching, and it was only 1 day a week during school term, so it was 20 days over the year, but I've decided to stop doing that, as well as also stop teaching yoga as well, so I can just focus on the business. I love to choose a word of the year. And so this year I had sustainability was my word. It was to help me addressing the consequences of consumerism, which I see every day in my work. I also wanted to be more sustainable in my physical and emotional energy that I have and bring to clients and my business. I don't want to burn out, and I want to be around in another 10 years. And I just made some changes to some of my exercise that I do in the mornings. I did a lot more yoga, walking, which is great because that's that connection with friends. It just helps to fill my cup. And also I linked this word of the year into my own 50th birthday. So I held a clothes swap with some close friends, and that was fantastic. The feedback was really positive. Everyone had a great time and came away with a few new pieces of clothes. A huge thank you, though, from me to every one of my clients for trusting me with your belongings, your stories, and all your dreams and goals for your organising project. I'm so grateful for what I've learned from the past year, all of these connections, and I can't wait to see what 2026 brings. And I do have a word for 2026, and it's grounded. It's about choosing steady over busy, and I'm designing a life that helps me feel connected to not only myself, my family, and the planet at work, and also in my home. I have 3 anchors that are going to help me to feel grounded. One is my nervous systems, looking at breath, pause, and stepping outside, because for me, standing out in nature really helps to ground me. I'm going to look at my rhythms over intensity. So looking at small loops to help me create consistency, like my family check-ins and sharing our wins and schedules and dinners, and also around my work. And then I'm going to design connection. So make sure that the right things I say yes to are also the easy things. I've looked at some questions to help me stay grounded in 2026. My first one is, what's one action that would make tomorrow easier? My next one is to write down 3 things to do tomorrow and do 1 thing for someone else each day. So those are the 3 things that are going to help me to stay grounded. I can go back to these at the end of each week to help me stay focused. I really encourage you to reflect on your year. It's really a great practice. It helps you with personal growth, and it helps you to be more intentional in your approach to your next year. I'd love for you to share with me on social media what you've achieved and celebrating in 2025, and share with me also a word that you have for 2026. Thanks for listening to More Organised, Less Clutter, and I'll see you in 2026. Would you like to have a home for everything and easily be able to find the things you need during the festive season? To help you have the best Christmas season, I've created an extra special free resource for you, the Christmas Declutter Calendar. Quick and simple ideas designed to give you immediate results in just 15 minutes each day. Feel more organised this Christmas and download your Christmas Declutter Calendar from simplyhappy.com.au in the resource section. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.